Peace and blessings, family. This is Master B. I decided that I'm going to be doing a couple of recordings on how we get down with these charts and these games. I hope that you find this information and these next couple of series of videos that I'm about to share. I hope you find value. I'm just going to let you come and explore the lab, my mind, and how I look at tackling these charts, my philosophy. So sit back and relax and let's get busy. Let's build. The first thing I want to talk about is your prep work. How important your prep work is in your daily trading. Okay? Now, my experience, everything that I'm going to be sharing is going to be based on my experience, my trial and error, my setbacks, my successes, right? We want to start with the daily chart, okay? You want to get some sense of overall bias, okay? Now, how far you go back in the chart, you know, the further you go back and extend either a horizontal line or a trend line, the further you go back on the daily chart, the more potent that line is when you go to the smaller time frame and you get a break or a retest of that line. It's going to be very powerful because it's coming from your daily chart. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things that I had to challenge with early in my trading journey is understanding a term called top-down analysis, right? I used to hear this term all the time, top-down analysis, right? So when I go up to the daily or the 4 hour or the 1 hour, because I'm normally trading on, you know, the 5 or the 1, and my overall trend from the top is going up, but meanwhile, my smaller time frame is going down. So that used to confuse the heck out of me until it finally clicked. You know, it all depends on what type of trader you are. If you are a day trader, you really don't need to go up that high, in my opinion. Everything that I say on these videos is going to be of my opinion. If you're swing trading, yes, you need the higher time frame. But intraday trading, meaning that if you trade from the stock market exchange 9:30 to 4:15, then the highest that you might need, you know, is your 1 hour chart. I like the 4 hour because it covers 4 hours of London. Okay. But, you know, you're going to, over your journey, you're going to find out what best suits for you. Okay. So we're gathering the overall trend of the daily market. It's currently trending up. What else I like to also do is I like to have an external trend line and an internal trend line. So when price action is not near my external trend line, I have an internal. So I'll get a secondary trend line to bring it closer to price. So that's my internal, and then I have my external, if that makes sense. So I continue. First I find the ceiling. I go and I get my ceiling. Boom. Now, ceilings and floors. Now you're going to hear throughout your journey a lot of different expressions for these particular areas, right? It all depends on the instructor that's instructing at that time. I like to keep my terms extremely simple, all right? When I'm looking for ceilings and floors on my higher time frame, I'm looking for areas on the market where price action stopped and reversed. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm concerned with, because I want to see on my smaller time frame what is what's happening at that daily time frame ceiling. Okay? So I'm just going to get a couple of spots because these candles represent 24 hours. So it's very powerful in a single candle. So I'm looking at levels of where price stopped and turned around. And I want to be closer to price. So I can pick this area over here. I can pick this area over here, but it's moving me further away from price. And I want to get closer to price because I want to trap price in. So when price action makes a move, I'll be able to execute a trade. Okay? So that's my daily. I drop down. I particularly like the 4-hour chart. I also like the 4-hour chart. Let me say that. And I'm going to get closer and closer to price so that I can create my traps, my tolls. So when price action breaks these areas, they got to pay me. Okay? So, again, what I do on the daily, I'm doing the same thing on my 4-hour, my 1-hour, my 15-minute chart, and my 5-minute chart. And I'm looking for entries on my 1-minute chart. So let's continue breaking this down. So this video, I'm just going to cover on how I create my ceilings and floors. And then we'll go the next video because I don't want to have these videos too long. Okay? So now I'm on my 4-hour chart. What am I looking for? I'm looking for price. When it went up, it turned around. So when it, on this turning around, that created a ceiling for me from my 4-hour. Now on TradingView, what you can do so that you're not confused with which line is which, you can create a template. Okay? So I create a template for my 4-hour ceiling so that I can name it. That's my 4-hour high. Okay? Now down here, being that my daily trend line is covering the 4-hour bottom, I'm not going to put an extra line there. Okay? So now I continue going down because you don't want to clutter your chart because I got helpmates coming in. So I don't want to clutter my chart with too many lines. So now I drop down to my hourly chart. Okay? And I'm doing the same thing. Now, there are technical names that you can apply to these different areas. But again, I like to keep my stuff very simple. Where on the hourly time frame did the market stop and turn around? Okay? So, out of this consolidation means that the market is going sideways right in here. This is a consolidation area, right? So going into this consolidate, the last stop right there, and you see that aggressive bar that came out of there? That is a supply zone. Okay? That's where my bears are sitting. Everything you can make a template for. So that's my 1-hour supply. Okay? So again, what we're continuing to do is to box price in. And we're also creating stops. If she should break my 4-hour high, I'm looking for this 1-hour supply zone. That's my top up analysis. Okay? Right here, see where price stopped and turned around? I'm just going to take me a little line and just mark it. Now, marking that area with the 4-hour created me a zone. That's a zone. Boom. Okay? So, if I decide to get in this trade, first of all, I need to see a break of this zone. I need to see her come back to retest to make sure that that zone is now going to act as a floor. So I'm looking to time this bounce to take my buy back up to my 1 hour my 1 hour supply zone. Now, I'm not going to take it on my 1 hour chart. I'm going to continue dropping down to get my 15-minute areas of support and resistance. Okay? Each time frame has its own story. So I have my 4 hour story, I have my daily story, I have my 15-minute story now. Where did price stop and turn around? So not to get confused with any other lines, I'll just get me a shorter line, change the color, right? And this is an area that we have to be concerned about because price stopped there before. Okay? Basically what I'm doing is I'm setting up traps. If price comes up there again and doesn't break through, I'm going to sell from that area. I hope that makes sense. This is the reason why we do our prep work prior to the market opening. So when price action gets to these areas, boom, we know how to respond. Okay? So there are two things that I'm looking for to happen here. She's either going to come up here She's either going to bounce off that ceiling and head back down. On this heading back down, that's when I'm looking to sell. Right? Or she can break. Now, I'm not going to get excited on the first break because sometimes what they'll do is they'll trap you thinking that it's going long and come back down. So I need to see this guy retest, okay, and then continuation up. Now, on that continuation up, I'm looking to enter in on the break right there. Back up to where? First stop on the bus is going to be my 4 hour high. My second stop on this journey is going to be my 1 hour supply zone. Okay? So I wanted to show the prep work of the daily 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute chart. That is your prep work. You want to do that an hour before you start your trading, so you know where you are in the grand scheme of things. Try not to sit down and just start trading and not know where you are in the grand scheme of things. Okay? Just wanted to do a quick video on why we do prep work. All right? This is Master B. To the next video, I'm out.